he had obviously some things going on that he never knew was happening. And then, yeah, it got to that life-threatening emergency point. And then there is a point where they can only do so much. And he was a bit of a cowboy, and, those kind of classic dudes that don't want to go to the doctor and I'll tough it out kind of thing. I'm sure there was a lot of that mentality going into it. Also, there was poor health care. He was a victim of the American healthcare system too in that regard. I won't get into all that. But yeah, like that was a big part of it.
We've talked about that a lot over the years. It's a nightmare, and the stress they put people through trying to deal with their own taking care of themselves. It's like, yeah, it's a nightmare.
Especially at his age, at 59, he was starting to feel like, oh, you're just like a forgotten human. They don't, they don't really want to take care of you. They want to do everything but that. Like you got to fight tooth and nail to take care of yourself in that, at least where he was at that time. And I got a really panicked call from my sister that morning and said, you need to get here like now. Like Dad is very sick and we don't know what's happening. And they rushed him to the emergency room. And I jumped in my car and sped up there and I said goodbye to him in the middle of Kentucky on the side of I-65 on an iPhone 8 on the side of a highway. And that was
pulled over to make it quieter?
Yeah. And just so I didn't lose signal, I was so worried that, because, the middle of Kentucky is the middle of nowhere. And like, what if I drop the call? Like, yeah. And, so I just pulled over it was insane. I just, the sound of like semis flying by me at like 90 miles an hour, but literally being I felt like I was in a bubble, like not like the world stopped around me in that little car. Like a semi could have taken the side of that car off. I wouldn't even had known it, or, I was in a state of absolute shock and horror. It was a very traumatizing experience.
And you were on a FaceTime call?
No, it was just on a video or a normal phone call.
Was he able to speak to you?
He was, and he
did he know that it could be like his last moment?
He knew he was dying.
Bothering you by asking you this?
No, I talk about it a lot on stage. I kind of relive it every night, and that's been a challenge for me, like mentally, kind of. But it's also been like the beautiful part of unpacking trauma and grief, because I'm not. Like our music, like really, it finds the grieving, and I think it's important for me to grieve as well. Like I go through grief every night, and but he was such a gangster in that moment. He knew he had maybe 90 seconds left on this earth. He knew he was going, not just going, but going fast. He even told me, he's like, I'm going, Stephen, and. Sorry. But yeah, he was so calm about it. He said, everything's going to be okay.
Oh,
that was his first thing he said, like such a dad thing to say. And he said, write a good song for me, Stephen. And he said, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you 4 times. And
he wanted you to know for sure.
Yeah. He wanted there to be no doubt. And so I say it more than once all the time now, because I from that experience, I kind of realized that people are counting, and I was counting, and it was weird. Like on that last I love you, it's almost like his voice got quieter, like he was literally being pulled, like God was snatching him from the universe in that last I love you.
Wow.
And he was gone 30 seconds later.
Oh.
And that was it. I was the last person he spoke to, and I'm really grateful that I got to speak to him. And in that moment, in that car, I was so angry at God. I was so angry at him, even my dad. I was like, how dare you die on me like this? Like it wasn't supposed to happen. Like none of it was supposed to happen like that. Yeah. Like I was under the impression he was invincible, first of all. And he was just so young, and he was just such a, just such a lively, such a bright light. So it didn't seem possible. And then, even to people in my hometown, they were in disbelief when he died. Like, it was like, because his life force was so big that like people were in denial. It's like, that's impossible. There's no way he could be dead. Like, and I was like, no, he really is. And it was a tough thing to really come to terms with. But with any great reaction or any like chemical reaction, there is a catalyst. And I have to say, the reason I'm here and the reason I'm anywhere right now is because of that conversation. It was, you know, you have a product and a reactant, and then there's a catalyst, and that conversation is what catalyzed my whole career.
Really?
And that write a good song for me, Stephen. Was like a lifetime's worth of jet fuel for me to charge across the galaxy and do everything I could to try and keep him alive. To try and just tell the world about him, that, you know,
carry out his wish.
Yeah, I mean, what I found out is like carrying out his wish and keeping him alive was keeping so many other people that other folks have lost, other humans have lost, alive. He was resurrecting other people at the same time. And these people were coming to shows with this, with his bounty of love that had no place to go. And that's what grief is, essentially. And I gave them, these songs have given them a home for at least maybe 3.5 or 4 minutes. And, and that's been, that's really been the charge of all of this. That's been, the mission statement is, at the very beginning was just keep Dad alive, keep him alive at all costs. And, like kind of a psychotic denial for the first couple of years that he was even gone. I was like, no, he's still around. And a lot of times I felt them on my shoulders like a little kid. It was really weird. It was like this weird reversal of roles. And
well, now that he's free, he kind of could do as he wants, he could be on your shoulders.
Yeah, he would show up like that. And the reason why I play this song Stand By Me, it's just literally 2 weeks after he died, I was scheduled to play this songwriter festival in Deadwood, South Dakota. And it's in the Black Hills, and it's a very spiritually charged area, just in general.
Yeah, for sure it is.
And the guy that runs it says, you don't have to play any music. I know you're in a bad spot. I hadn't slept in a week, and he's like, just come here and see what happens. Just be around people. Like, there's nothing but love for you here, and we know you've gone through it. And at the end of the festival, they asked all the writers and stuff there, if you wanted to play a cover, what's your favorite cover that you love? And they did this big finale. I'd been, for some reason, for about a year prior to my dad's death, I'd been singing the song Stand By Me in my living room the exact way I play it now.
It just popped in your head it just kind of came into you?
Yeah, and like for some reason that song has haunted me my whole life because of the movie Stand By Me.
Oh, for sure. That's a big part of a lot of people's, that movie was huge in people's lives for so many little moments.
Yeah, like I very much saw myself in the kid on the left, the
Corey Feldman?
The Gordy LaChance. No, what was his name? Will Wheaton, like the writer that was trying to find a voice, the nerdy little writer kid on the left.
Yeah,
and that song like was threaded so brilliantly throughout that film, and it's obviously the title, but because of that movie, which is also a Stephen King story, that movie is based off a Stephen King novella called The Body. So, it was obviously a very haunting and dark theme, but that song really haunted me because of that movie. And I just started playing it. I was like trying to, I don't know, kind of deconstruct it, try to process it in a different way. And when my dad died, fast forward to Deadwood, all I could play was Stand By Me.
Wow.
And I started playing it, and I'd really never played it for anybody like that. And the whole place like just went crazy. Like, and at that point I was not an artist. I'd just quit my job as a scientist. I'd been a published writer for maybe 2 years at that point, just trying to get other artists to sing my songs. And I never really saw myself as an artist, even though my dad did. Like, he would always be like, why don't you just sing these songs? You sound great singing them. But I would always argue with him, like, no, I don't do that. I write them. Someone else sings them. But when I went up there to sing Stand By Me, I swear to God, he was like on my shoulders like a little kid. And I got so addicted to that feeling again. Like, because he was there. He showed up. And I truly believe he showed up at Bridgestone at the CMAs. Like, he did. He showed up that night. And
I bet he was so proud of you. Do you feel like he's proud of you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was so proud of me before he died, before any of this happened, and I think he would be very proud. I've been trying to make him proud my whole life, but
what did he said? Write a song for me or make us? What did he say? Sorry,
write a
I'm
good song
leaking over here.
No, man, I leak all the time.
Yeah, dude, I listen to stuff that makes me cry all the time because I think I'm just full of tears and I got to get these bitches out, even though I'm dehydrated half the time. So I'm like, I don't even know what's going on here, dude.
No, it's good for you. Like, when my dad died, I swear all I did was cry for 2 years. It's all I did. And
you got to get it out.
If you can find the tears, find them. Like right now, I can't find them.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I get emotional, don't get me wrong, but
yeah, sometimes you have tears and sometimes you don't. It's like almost like seasons, you know. It's almost like an ocean. Sometimes it comes up on the shore, and sometimes it's out to sea, you know. Even though it's, you know, it lives
it's a
right.
Tide.
Yeah. So it's like, and especially I think people that have had like a lot of things in their life that have happened that haven't been processed. You know, it takes a long time, and I think I've gotten grateful in my life over time where if I find something that helps me process, I'll sit there and process it. My brother says a lot of times, he's like, yeah, getting rid of grief and like trauma, like that old stuff, and people use trauma as a buzzword, but getting rid of grief and stuff from the past, he's like, it's like taking pennies out of a bathtub one at a time. He's like, you know, it takes a long time and it's slow and it's just kind of arduous work. But you just be grateful that it can kind of happen over time. What he said, make a good song for me.
Write a good song.
Write a good song for me.
Yeah, because he knew that's all I could think about. And
that's the baton, man. That's the baton.
Yeah, he used to come to all my shows. When I say shows, like playing for 7 people at Writers Round, and he came to the Bluebird Cafe. I remember had his you remember when they had those giant phones that were like the size of laptops, you know? But,
those T-Mobile sidekicks? Yeah, baby, them bitches was beautiful.
Yeah, he had one of those bad boys, and he would just hold it up and record the whole show. He used to drive me crazy. And
dude, there's nothing crazier than watching like a boomer kind of like record something, or even just somebody from a generation above. We went to the UFC fights the other day, and some guy was recorded every single fight. I'm like, he had a front row seat. And he was recording, and there was a TV right next to him playing the fights. I'm like, you can just go home and watch. Like, I just didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was there and that he cared so much about it and that he loved watching you do it.
Yeah, there was this one song that's on the record called "I'm a Song." And he watched me play that for the first time at Bluebird Cafe. I'd just written it like that week.
Right over here?
Yeah, Bluebird Cafe, and he had his gigantic phone. I'll never forget. And I was like, Dad, please put your phone down. But he recorded that whole song, and then he called me a week later, kept talking about that song. And about a month before he died, it was Father's Day weekend, I came up to see him. And we went to a tractor pull, and then we went home and watched some fights. And he goes, hey, Steven, you know that song you played at the Bluebird like a month ago? It's called "I'm a Song." And I was like, well, how do you even know that? Like, I because I was in that point of like writing, 200 songs a year. I was writing, 10 songs a week. So like a month ago, like that, "I'm a Song" was like 50 songs ago. So I was like, oh, yeah, I know that. And he's like, yeah, you played at the Bluebird Cafe. And he's like, that's my favorite song. And I was like, oh, thank you, Dad. And like, I thought he meant like, it's my favorite song, his favorite song of mine. And he was like, no, listen to me. That's my favorite song ever.
Wow.
And I was like, how are you even listening to it? He'd been listening to me play it on the Bluebird on his gigantic T-Mobile, whatever that thing is, and that's how he was actually